Are you sure you just don't want half the page?
So who doesn't like money?
I don't.
That's right, everybody loves money. So if you have money and you want to buy something, do you really want to buy something that is overpriced, inefficient, and is difficult to repair or get help with? That's right, again, of course not. Why would you want to do something like that? So today, I'm hoping, in other words, why would you want to buy an Apple product when you can buy a Windows product? So today, I would like to enumerate for you the reasons why Microsoft and Windows products are superior to Apple products. As a college student, as a poor college student who needs technology to live, I have always been looking for the cheapest and most efficient models of any sort of technology available. This includes laptops, phones, miniature TVs, things like that. Especially in the past few weeks, I've been really looking up all of these different things, and I actually have found that I'm not being as efficient as I thought I was. For you, I'm hoping, given how many people in here have iPhones or have MacBook Pros or at home, you know, iMacs, whatever their computer might be, I'm hoping that you will listen to this and see just how inefficient your spending habits are. I'm going to do this today by showing you Windows products' superiority in terms of availability, in terms of versatility, and in terms of their price difference. First of all, availability. You can just find places that sell Windows products. You can go to the mall and find plenty of places. Apple products, however, you can find only in Apple stores. Now, one of the things that I've heard before, though, is that they have tons of Apple stores all over the place, that you can go just about anywhere and find one. However, just as an example, in the Brea Mall, which is about 5 minutes away from here, you will find one Apple store, as you'd expect at a mall. But you will find a place called Bose, a place called Brookstone, a place called Sears, a place called T-Mobile, along with 5 or 6 other places, all of which sell you Windows products. Now true, this is the mall, so you wouldn't expect to find more than one Apple store. However, the next closest Apple store is way out in Mission Viejo. And the next closest one compared to that is way in the opposite direction. There just aren't very many of them, especially not when you compare them to the abundance of places selling Windows products. Now, on top of the fact that places to buy them aren't very locale, choices for you to buy them are also very limited in terms of Apple products. For instance, if you want to buy a MacBook, you have the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air, and that's pretty much it. You can get other kinds, but they're typically the same thing, just with a little more memory or a little bit of a better video card. Typically, though, they're the exact same model with a tiny change to it. However, when you look at Windows products, you can go to any of the stores I've mentioned before and find things from Lenovo, Toshiba, Acer, Dell, Asus, all kinds of different makers who create different models, giving you literally hundreds of choices on these products. On top of that, because there's such a wide variety of places and models to buy these products, many more people are able to and willing to cheaply service your product if it is a Windows as opposed to a Mac. Actually, Mac products, when you want to get them repaired, you have to go to an Apple store. And as I already said, those are very sparse in this country, in this world. Moving on to my next point. In terms of their versatility, when you look at a Mac's software, it has a great variety of tools you can use when you want to edit a video, edit a photo, edit music, when you want to put together these long and complicated pieces of music and sync them to your video. It's perfect for all of that. At its fullest potential, you can get a lot done with a MacBook. At its fullest potential, a Windows computer can do all of that and make it much more easier to use, much more user-friendly. In terms of the Mac software, MacBooks and Mac in general, you typically are stuck with whatever is either pre-installed or whatever software you can buy at the Mac store. With Windows, you can download, you can buy, you can try out tons of different softwares, all that do relatively the same thing, but give you, the user, a tiny bit of a different experience, making it more easy for you to customize and choose how you want to deal with the software. Not only is the software very versatile, however, the hardware is as well. You can find video cards, you can find sound cards, you can find speakers and memory banks and external and internal disk drives, all this different stuff in your Windows store that you just don't find at a Mac store. According to computerhope.com, which is a website designed to help you, the user, find an easy and good, affordable computer for you, it says, PC computers can be found in almost any configuration, color, size, etc. imaginable. However, when compared to a PC, an Apple Macintosh has far fewer options for customization. Now, many people will say, well, customization doesn't matter. The problem with that logic is, if you've never been able to experience something more easy, then the Macintosh is just going to seem okay to you. The minute you look at this other software, this easier to use software, you just get pulled into it. My last point, price. Everybody says when it comes to a Mac, yes, they cost more than Windows do, but it's worth it. Well, in terms of their competitors, they are actually quite a hefty bit more. I took my own time to look up and research if I were to build a computer, how much would it cost in both a Mac and a Windows form. When I tallied it all together and I wanted to build a Windows computer with top-of-the-line stuff, good video card, good sound card, good everything that the average person would want, just the best stuff of it, it would cost me about $2,000 plus tax. Now yes, that is a lot of money, but again, it's a very good, very sturdy piece of equipment. Looking for either the same components or comparable components from a Mac store, it would cost me about $7,500 plus tax to get the same quality, which, by the way, is about 3.5 times more and means I would be paying about $5,500 to slap an Apple logo on the side of a Windows computer. That's what I would be paying for. Now, not only is it overpriced next to its competitors, it's also overpriced next to itself. According to Katie Thompson, a writer for CNBC.com, she says, before its unveiling, the iPhone 5C was thought to be a much cheaper model than the iPhone. However, the iPhone 5C costs $549 to buy, but only costs $173 to $183 to make, which means you are paying $350 more than they paid just to make the product. These iPhones, these MacBooks and everything, a MacBook you can buy for around $1,200 to get a new, recent model. It costs them about $600 to make it. They are getting 50% of that entire thing goes straight to profits. When you can buy the same thing in a Windows store, costs them maybe $1,100. They don't get as much markup, but you get much more for that amount. To conclude, in terms of products, in terms of money, in terms of availability, in terms of the amount of things you can do with these products, Windows is just more bang for your buck. And I hope that, being the poor college students we are, you all can take this into account the next time you need some sort of computer or laptop or phone or anything. And that next time you'll choose a nice clean window instead of a rotten apple. Thank you.
We are ISC just for you. We are ISC.
I really don't have a pocket.
So Nick, what did you think? Nick, you had a great opener. I thought you had a great opening, actually. You have great voice projecting. Just want to throw that out there. Your topic was very clear. Your transitions were very good, and they were just. It got right to it fit into your topic. I felt like you were speaking a little too fast, though. Like I would say, just slow it down a little bit. You had great examples, but I kind of wish there was more sources. For instance, like when you said you built a computer that cost you like $7,000, like what did you put into that computer to make it cost that? For another example would be, which computer would outrun the other one? You know, which is gonna last the longest? Other than that, it was a great speech. I still like Apple, I'm sorry, but Windows is a great product. I'm not very good at it, but overall, it was great.
Okay. Nick, I don't think delivery has ever been a problem for you. You obviously have a very effective way of projecting your voice. You have good audience contact. You are always engaged when you're talking to us. So none of those are issues. You don't have to worry about that. Content-wise, I think I'd agree with Nick about a couple of things. I think you could use a little bit more source citation. I'm exactly wondering the same thing. What the hell did you put into this computer to make it worth $7,000? And where did you get this information that it would cost all those kinds of things? There were some other places also where you made a lot of assertions at the beginning. Just to give you an example, and you know, I haven't studied it closely. I haven't gone out and done research. I'm 90% certain that I can buy a Mac just about anywhere.
Best Buy.
You know, Best Buy, Fry's. As a matter of fact, the Mac Pro that I bought for my daughter, I bought at the bookstore at Cal Poly. So I know that I'm not limited to going to the Apple store to get those kinds of products. So I'm wondering why you think that's the case. Now, the service thing, I think that you probably are right on that. But, you know, the comparison, I think because Apple has its own stores, there seems to be a presupposition that it's limited access there, and I don't think that's demonstrated. And just when we were talking about reservation and rebuttal arguments, that would be a good example of one where you're sitting here talking to people. I'll bet a lot of people have Mac products, iPhones, and that sort of thing, and have never been in an Apple store. So the idea that that's the case is problematic, and that's your first point. So you're hurting yourself a little bit there. I think you've got better arguments later on where you do provide some support, but that one is, you know, just kind of weak at the beginning. All right. Well, we're out of time. We got to get out of here. We have 6 other people that want to speak, and I will do the best I can to accommodate you on Tuesday. But we're also doing the test on Tuesday. Don't forget that.